Lombardo, smoking guitar player, Tasty Licks Barbecue Supply. You know we're a big green egg dealer. We've been selling them for years, but I got to tell you something. Take a look down here. This is what we're going to do. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this thermometer work right. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to calibrate our thermometer, and what we need to do that is a pot with boiling water like you see right here. Now it doesn't have to be screaming, so we'll turn it down a little. It can be simmering, just so it's boiling, and at sea level, and we're fairly close to sea level, that boils at 212 degrees. So all we have to do is take our thermometer. This is the one we pulled off the medium, and we can hold it, but it gets hot, so I tend to use tongs. So I have tongs here. Now, I'll tell you what, why don't we come in here first, camera, and let's get some close-ups going. Okay, so you want to be boxed right on this white sheet, yes? Okay, so here is our thermometer we took off the medium egg, and this is what we use to adjust it, and you just kind of turn it and move the needle once you've taken the reading. And to do that, on these new ones, which are the Tell-True thermometer, it's 16 millimeter or 5/8, and you use the open end wrench or a box wrench, but not a ratchet, of course. The socket won't work. Okay? Now I know for a fact on some of the older ones it's 3/8. Okay, but this is 5/8 on the newer one. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure our water's boiling, turn it up a little, and we're going to hold it in there, and we're going to see what it says. So let me turn it for you. Now of course it's going to fog up a little, but that'll be okay. Now it should be going to 212. Now this one, let's make sure we got it good. That's going to 250. So when your egg is reading 250, you're actually only at 212. And that is a significant difference. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to turn it down a little bit. So I'm going to take it over here and see if it's hot enough, cool enough to hold. And I'm going to take my wrench and I'm just going to turn it, just move the needle down just a little bit. It's a little harder to do over top of steaming, boiling water. Okay, I think I was successful. Let's see. Okay, I was not successful. Okay, so our thermometer read 250 when it was in 212 degree water. It's a little hot, so I'm going to use a paper towel and I'm going to turn it this way. There, I moved the needle down. I moved the needle down about 25 degrees. So now we're going to put it in there again, and we're going to see what it comes up to. Right now, statically, it's at about 75 or 80. Let's see what it goes up to. We have our boiling water. I know this is really keeping your interest. This is a little bit better than watching paint dry, right? Okay, now it's still at 240, so I need to bring it down a little. So I'll get a good hold on it, get my wrench, and move the needle downward a little. Okay, there it is. I moved it down a little, I believe. I'm trying to show it to you and look at it myself at the same time, which I can't do. So let's see how high it goes now. We want it just a little over 200. And as you can see, is that it, DJ?
That's it.
Take a good close look. And that's where it is. So this thermometer was 40 degrees off, which would seriously affect your cooking. And we're going to put it back in the egg, and we'll show you how we do that in a minute. Now, first let's do another one. Here's a brand new one out of the box, okay? Let's see what that calibrates up at. Okay, it's going to take it a minute. There it goes. I have a feeling this one's going to be low. Now, this will show you why you should calibrate these. That one's about 20 degrees or 25 degrees too low, I believe. Oh, no, that one's coming pretty close. That is one of the best ones I've ever seen, actually. It's reading 200. So all we have to do is just give it a little bit of up, just like that. That should have done it. Move the needle in the upward direction. And now let's see where it goes to. I think I moved it too far. We'll find out. Nope. Perfect. Perfect. So, that's how you do it. That's how you calibrate your thermometer. Now, if the camera can swing over here, I'll show you folks how to reinstall this. You, of course, put your thermometer through the hole back here. Am I anywhere close? Help me, cameraman. Okay, you do that. You put it through the hole, and then if you can zoom in here, squeeze these two together like this, and that lines the holes up, and then they'll move like this. Line them up, get them on there like this. Now, it's a good idea when you do this, you can just push it down here and it sticks really good. I'm going to flip this over. I'll tell you what I do. I put mine so I know what the temperature is straight up. So this one, I do mine at 400 straight up at my house. So now I have it set for 400 straight up. So if it's outside in the snow and I'm inside the house, I can look out there even with a flashlight and tell when it's at where it is, because 400 is straight up. And that's what I would recommend. So folks, now you know how to calibrate your thermometer, and now you know why your big green egg may have cooked weird. Maybe too hot or too slow. Okay? So it's Fred Bernardo from Tasty Licks Barbecue Supply in Shillington, Pennsylvania, saying goodbye. Come to our store and buy some sometime, will ya? Take care. So folks, here we have our burner, and we have some water boiling. We're going to get this water boiling. And here's our thermometer from my trusty, crusty big green egg. Now, as you can see, it's at rest and it says 370 degrees, so we're pretty sure that isn't correct. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off. Again, I just put that on there to keep it. And you'll notice that this nut right back here, that's where we're going to make our adjustments. And I can tell you that a 7/16 on mine, 7/16 here, or 11 millimeter will work. And what it does is it just rotates. I'll show you here, quick demonstration. It rotates the needle. You see, it moves the needle. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put it in this boiling water, which is 212 degrees, and we're going to keep adjusting it till it says 212 when it's in the water. So we're going to let our water heat up a little more, and then we'll get to it. Okay, folks. So our water is starting to boil. Down at the bottom there, you can see it's starting to bubble up. And here we have our big green eggs thermometer, which is way off. We have our different wrenches, 11 millimeter or 7/16. Now, some of these thermometers have different nuts on there. You just have to get the appropriate and approximate size box wrench. An open end works about the best, like these. Okay? And we're just going to put this in the water using tongs. We don't want to burn ourselves, and it should register 212. Now, we know it's going to be way off because it says 300 already. So we probably, to start out, maybe I'll crank it down to 0 to start it out. So you see where it is now? It's at 325. I got my wrench on the back, and I'm going to show you. I'm cranking it down. Okay. I'm going to take it to, well, it doesn't really have 0. I'm going to take it to under 100 because it is under 100. It's around 80 ambient today. So that's where I set it. Now I'm going to use my tongs, and I'm going to put it in here into the boiling water, and it should go to 212. And what I'll do is I'll take my wrench and I'll adjust it so it says 212. It looks like it stopped at about 180. Yep, it stopped at 180. I hope you can see that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, careful, it could be hot, and I'm going to crank it up a little bit. I'm going to make it a little higher. Now I'm going to put it back in here again. We'll see where it goes to. Now, I'm not touching the bottom of the pan because that's really hot from the burner. I may have gone the wrong direction. I think I did. It's only going to 150. So I'm going to crank on it again. I'm going to crank it higher. Pretty sure I'm doing this right. Maybe I'm going the wrong direction. We'll find out. My mistakes, you learn by my mistakes. Okay, now it's supposed to go to 212. And it's going to 250, so I cranked on it way too much. Now I'm going to crank it down. Okay, and eventually I'll get the hang of it. Now, if you haven't done this before, you're really making a big mistake because these thermometers are not calibrated very well, especially in brand new big green eggs. Especially on the newer ones with the better USA-made Tell True thermometer, they're way off. Now, I'm at about 220. I'm going to crank it down just a little bit, and I mean just a little, a skosh as we say. And here it is, just a little bit. I put it back in, and it should register around 212 at this point. Get a better grip on it. Okay, now it's saying like 170 again. I'm not digging on these tongs really a lot. Okay, let's see what it comes up to. Still only coming up to about 180. So I'll crank on it again, and you go back and forth, turning it up a little bit. Okay? Keep doing this till when you put it in the water it says 212, and it looks like I'm about there. I'm going to get the steam off of there. It is right around 212, as you can see. I hope you can see it. And that's it. We're going to put it back in our big green egg, and we're going to know now that our egg is reading at the right temperature. So that's how it's done. So folks, now you know how to calibrate your thermometer, and now you know why your big green egg may have cooked weird. Maybe too hot or too slow. Okay? So it's Fred Bernardo from Tasty Licks Barbecue Supply in Shillington, Pennsylvania, saying goodbye. Come to our store and buy some sometime, will ya?